How would I know what goes there? I'd take 105 and divide it by 405. Try that. 105 divided by 405 ought to be this exact same answer. Is it? Cool. Notice, though, we found the answer without knowing a particular price. All we have to do is know the percent and put the 100 where it goes, figure out what the other number is, divide the margin by that other number.
I missed what this is about. To find what margin on cost is in relation to selling price.
This is equivalent margin. How do they describe it here? Conversion of markup percent. On the test study guide, it says one problem will give the percent markup on one base and ask for the equivalent markup on the other base.
Is this the only one that's going to use the word equivalent? The other one would be the other examples you showed us?
Well, I don't want to say, I'm not going to guarantee that.
So
and
how are we going to distinguish what they're talking about?
Read the words and know what they mean. Yeah, I don't want to say, anytime you see this word, we do that. That's kind of a monkey see, monkey do approach to mathematics, and I'd rather you understand what the terms mean and know how they relate to each other. But yeah, if I would generally phrase it as a 35% margin on cost is equivalent to what percent margin on selling price. Let's do it the other way. A 35% margin on selling price is equivalent to what percent margin on cost? Okay? What if we asked it that way? Let's go ahead and do that problem. In fact, let me put that on top here. A 35% margin on selling price is equivalent to what percent margin on cost? Well, let's set up a situation that illustrates this that we're given. Cost plus margin is always equal to selling price. In this example, if it's 35%, where's the 35 go? Under C, M, or S? 35% is the margin based on selling price, isn't it? So that's the margin, that's the 35. Where does the 100 go? That's under selling price, isn't it? 35% margin on selling price means selling price is the base, that's the 100. So what goes here? 65. Okay? So would everyone agree that if I bought something for $65, had a margin of 35, sold it for 100, that that's a 35% margin based on selling price? 35 divided by 100 is 35%. Now I get bought out by a company who bases all their margins on cost. Well, they're still going to pay 65 for it. They're still going to sell it for 100. They're still going to make $35. But instead of taking 35 and dividing it by the selling price, they're going to take 35 and divide it by the cost. And that's going to be their markup percent on cost. So take 65 divided by 35. I'm sorry, other way around. Margin divided by either cost or selling price, depending on what you're basing it on. And that should be slightly under 50%. Say it real loud, slowly, one digit at a time. 4, or is it 0.5? Ah, it's more than half. Does that sound right? That's why nobody was saying something, because they said, he said it should be less than half. I got more than half. The emperor has no clothes. The teacher can make a mistake, and does. The teacher does make mistakes. Did everybody get something like this? And now if we convert that to a percent, we move it 2 places to the right, round it to 2 decimal places, and we get 53 point what? 85%. Okay, 53.85%. Now, let's notice a pattern here. In our first example, which percentage was bigger, when it was based on cost or when it was based on selling price? Which percent was bigger? The percent on cost was bigger than the percent on selling price, wasn't it? How about here? Percent on cost was bigger than the percent on selling price, wasn't it? If we always have to sell it for more than what we pay for it, then that's always going to be true. If this number is always smaller, then if we divide it by the cost, we're going to get a bigger answer than if we divide it by a bigger number, the selling price. We're going to get a smaller answer. When I first started teaching this course,